Stop letting motherfucking fear get in your way. You've been lying to yourself about becoming the person that you're trying to become. You've been allowing the fear that you've subconsciously been holding on to affect you making these next moves. You've been acting like you've been protecting yourself by setting boundaries, and you're doing things different, and it's like you set those boundaries, but you still have yet to step into that new energy. So what's the point? Why'd you set those boundaries if you're not going to actually go full throttle with being the person that you want to become? Okay, and it's because you're denying you're denying your inner child. You're denying that creativity in you. Life ain't gotta be so serious. Get a coloring book, get a sketchbook. Let's draw, let's journal, let's write some creative stories and live in la la land and use your imagination. Let's step into using that imagination. I feel like the seriousness that you got going on is causing you to not be compassionate to yourself, okay? It's causing you to not give yourself a hug. Maybe try to give yourself a hug these days, okay? Give yourself a hug and let yourself know that everything is going to be okay. Because you have the ancestors on your team. And they're guiding you. And they're helping you. And they're protecting you. So what are you waiting for? I don't know. What's tea, Aries? We gonna find out what today's tarot with the teacup. I don't know what's gonna happen with TikTok, so make sure you guys click that link in my bio and go subscribe to my YouTube to get the full reading. All right, Aries, let's get into your reading. So like I said, the first card that came out here is the dishonesty card. I feel like you have not been honest with yourself. If you see here, she got the money hanging in her hand like she trying to protect it. She like, gotta watch these motherfuckers. But you the motherfucker you gotta watch because you have not been being true to yourself and you're being dishonest about it. I feel like you've been setting boundaries, and the protection card is your next card that came out. You have been setting boundaries and trying to protect yourself from people and things so that you can evolve. But you're staying in that same space of doing everything that you did just without having those people around you. So it's like, what was the point in cutting them off if you weren't going to actually evolve from this? And I feel like it's because you're denying your younger self. I feel like you owe your younger self a lot of things. And because of the fact that you feel like you owe yourself a lot of things, you've been making life so serious instead of actually just enjoying life and having fun. I feel like you have to be more compassionate with yourself. You had the compassion card show up here. I feel like you've been giving so much to everybody else and their ideas of how you're going to be. You have this huge vision of yourself and you like been working hard towards this vision, but you're getting tired and you're like, but it's more comfortable if I just stay where I'm at. I feel like I'm this close, but I keep pulling back, and it's like, just make up your mind. Either you're going to cross that line or you're going to stay where you at. Okay, but be compassionate with yourself when you're making that choice, because you're going to feel like, oh, I'm not being responsible because I'm going to go have brunch with my friends versus taking care of this bill. But you don't know who you're going to meet at that brunch. And when you're in a happy mode, you attract more. You're not repelling that type of energy. You're not just sitting in the worry of not having. Get out of fear. Let go of fear, because you have the ancestors coming in here to support you. If you don't have an ancestral altar, I highly suggest that you set one up right now, because your ancestors are going to need to come in. You're going to need to call on them for their guidance and support. They're already trying to protect you. They're already trying to lead you in the direction that you need to go. It's just up for you to welcome them in and allow them to do what they're doing with your energy and where you're trying to go. And y'all work together and y'all make that shit happen.